was seeing red. Ah! What the heck? Hey internet, it's Jessica and welcome back to Seduce Me. I don't know what that was. So we're gonna continue off with Erik's route, and so far we're stuck in the demon world and we're going to sleep because Diana is out of commission, if you get my drift. So let's continue on. Darkness surrounded my mind. My dreams remained silent and hushed in the cool, calm black. No nightmares appeared and no sounds were made. I was simply resting, and that's all my body needed. I let my thoughts wander in my subconscious, thinking about what was going to happen now. What will the boys do when they realize I'm gone? What will he do? What will Erik do? I imagined him finding a way through the demon world and pulling me back to where I belong, wrapping me up in his arms and swearing he'll never let me go. I would be relieved and we would be married, just as we planned. How unrealistic is that? Well, I mean, you're in the demon world, so I mean, everything's unrealistic at this point. I had to be realistic right now. I was stuck, and the only one who seemed to be able to send me back was Diana and her companions, whoever they were. I had to trust them, whether I liked it or not. I still don't trust Diana. She's shady. Eventually, I did rise from my sleep, somehow fully refreshed and calm. How could that have been?
Did you have a good rest?
My headphones are too loud. Wow, I just blasted my ears. I turned my head to see Diana at the door, arms crossed and leaning against the door's archway. She had a look of concern and pure curiosity on her face as she awaited my answer. I want to be nice to her, but I still don't trust her, so I'll just say yes?
Good. A good rest is always important, especially to humans.
Okay. What about demons?
We rest as well, but it's not sleep like you humans do. We simply rest with our eyes open.
So like the Gandalf trick, do you remember that? Was it Two Towers? I don't remember, where he was sleeping with his eyes open. Why?
It's easier to avoid getting killed when your eyes are open.
Okay, I see your point. I gulped. Were demons really that paranoid, or were they paranoid for a reason? Diana shook her head and stepped into the room, closing the door behind her.
So we need to find another way to get you back to the human world. It won't be easy, but I believe it can be done by tonight at the latest.
Tonight? Really? Diana nodded and crossed her arms again, leaning on one hip.
It will take time to get our shadow agents to gather the necessary supplies, but they are not hard to obtain, being that we're in a position of power. You must be lucky.
Am I lucky, though? What do you mean? Diana sighed before casting a short spell under her breath. In front of me appeared a floating map, almost like a hologram. It showed an entire world with mountains and forests, and it was all surrounded by sea and water. Diana pointed to a marker that had a purple banner on its tip. It was marked in the center of some mountains and forest area. It was also the very center of the map.
That is where we are currently, the center of the Abyssal Plains.
Okay. Diana ran her finger in a circle around the marker, showing the perimeter around it.
Everything we need for the spell is within this area. It will just take time to gather the materials and prepare it.
I nodded, understanding the situation. I was going to hopefully be able to go home tonight, which was better than not going home at all. That's true. So, what should I do until then?
My suggestion? Stay in this room. I can mark this room as off limits so that no demon may enter that would confuse you for an intruder and kill you.
I gulped. I did not want to die. As Diana made a magical map disappear, she shrugged.
However, I cannot stop you from whatever you wish to do.
Oh, don't say that.
Just don't
say that. She's gonna make me really curious. Don't. I nodded as she turned to leave. As she stepped out, Diana looked back at me with a reassuring look.
We'll get you back to the human world. I promise you that.
Why are you nice? Why is she nice? Why? What is this? Finally, she left me alone in the room. I let out a small sigh and looked up at the ceiling. I had to wait until tonight to actually do anything. What was I gonna do? Part of me agreed with Diana's suggestion, wanting to stay in the room to keep me safe in case the guards didn't know who I was and would kill me on sight. My curiosity, however, wouldn't leave me alone, and I wanted to explore the castle. I was handed an opportunity to explore the castle in the demon world, and part of me did not want that to go to waste. I don't want it to go to waste either, because I kind of want to know, but I don't. I feel like this is a bad. What do I do, guys? I can't even ask because nobody can help me. Oh my gosh, I don't want a bad ending with Erik. This is why I'm afraid. Okay. Oh no. Oh, I was turning out what to do. I am too. Oh god, no. Oh no. Stay in the room for now. It was better to be safe than sorry. I fell back onto the bed and closed my eyes, contemplating taking a nap to make the time go faster. Staying in the room was the best option for me, both so that I wouldn't get lost and that I'll be okay in case the guards were on duty. I let out a small sigh before looking around the room. Was there anything I wanted to look at closer?
Excuse me.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's the rabbit girl. Or demon. Before I could find anything, I looked at the door towards the voice. Peeking in was the rabbit woman, curiously remaining at the door while I looked at her, while she was looking at me.
Are you feeling okay?
Huh? Yeah, I am, thank you. Please, come in. I trusted this woman. Despite barely knowing her, she assisted me in coming into this room, and she was one of Diana's comrades, so I felt like I could put my trust in her. The woman nodded before stepping into the room and closing the door behind her. She turned to me and stood by the door.
I'm assuming Diana told you about the situation.
Yeah, I'll be home by tonight. That's the hope anyway.
Yes. We sent our agents as soon as we knew what we had to gather. We're positive they will turn up before nightfall, and we'll be able to cast a gateway spell.
I nodded and let out a small sigh. It would be a long wait, but it would be worth it if it worked. The woman, however, took a step forward.
May I ask you something?
I looked at the woman, slightly confused. Sure, go ahead. What is it?
Well...
I watched as the woman reached up and rubbed one of her ears, almost in nervousness. What was she nervous about? Finally, she spoke up again, releasing her ear.
Would you mind if I asked you about the human world?
Of course she's curious. The human world? Why would she be curious in the human world? She was a demon that looked like an anthropomorphic rabbit. The woman hugged her large staff against her body as she shrugged.
How are things like in the human world? Is there equality amongst your races?
Oh no!
I've only heard stories.
Is she not being treated well?
Since you're a human yourself, you would know.
My mind ran back to the social life of the human world. At least in America, we claimed to be equal, but we had major prejudice against our races, whether we liked it or not. I found myself being on neutral ground, not wishing to be extreme on either option, but knowing the difference between what was morally right and wrong. I looked at the woman and shook my head, making her eyes widen slightly. We're not exactly equal. I mean, we try, but we're pretty divided. However, it's only one of many problems we face. The woman nodded before walking over and sitting down on the bed beside me.
I see. Are there major wars fought because of it?
In a way, we have marches and movements, but at least we try not to escalate it to war where I live. It's because we resolve things without violence. It's better to resolve things without violence.
That's smart. I hope that equality can be found in your world.
Aw. What about here? The woman shook her head, her smile turning a bit grim. I could tell that things were rough here, just from looking at her expression.
We have sort of a caste system here. What kind of demon you are determines what life you live.
Aww.
Demons of Lilith, like Diana, are usually royals and nobles, while animal demons like me are much, much lower in the
I
ranks.
kind of figured. Oh, poor girl. I could hear her anger and shame just from her voice alone. Were things really bad here? That's horrible. I'm so sorry.
It's alright. That's why I joined the rebellion. We intend to make changes, make it better. I want to be part of that and help fix things.
So is the Demon Lord racist? Like, what's going on? There was confidence in her words that didn't seem to match the look in her eyes. She knew something was off in what she said, but she expressed it anyway as her reply to me. I didn't know whether or not to prod or keep silent. What does that mean? Why is everyone shady here? What the hell? I wouldn't be here long, so I decided to keep my mouth shut. Oh, god damn it. The woman shook her head out as if she was scattering the thoughts from her mind and looked at me.
So, you are getting married. You must be excited to get back with your family and soon-to-be partner.
Yeah, of course. Huh? Oh yeah, I'm excited to go back. For a brief moment, I nearly forgotten that I was getting married. My mind began to wander to the one who was waiting for me, making my heart ache. As I looked down at my lap, the rabbit woman looked down as well.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you upset.
Oh no, it's
But
okay.
You will be home soon.
I nodded. I shouldn't have let him get me down, but I really did miss being in the human world. I think anyone in my situation would understand, especially since I was the bride. I looked at my hand, seeing my engagement ring, and imagining the wedding ring that was made for me to replace it. Soon enough, it would be on my finger, and I would be able to continue living on my life as normal. Pulling myself out of my thoughts, I looked at the woman as she stood and bowed to me.
Well, I shall leave you be. I will bring food whenever it is ready, so that you don't starve.
Thank you, I appreciate it. With that, the woman left, leaving me alone in the room to wait. I remained in the room until night came. I was given food which looked like soup. The woman who gave it to me apologized, letting me know that the food was scarce until the upcoming harvest, which was a couple of days away. Being that I was only staying a day, I didn't mind much. I was more curious as to what I was given to eat. That looks kind of like stew, right? It was some sort of stew with a mysterious chunk swimming in its broth. It smelled surprisingly good, but who knew how it tasted? Is this a trick? Is this a trick? Oh my gosh, I'm so suspicious. I'm gonna refuse it because I'm kind of suspicious. No. No way. No how. I was not in the mood to try new things after what I've been through, and this was not something I wanted to try at all. A knock rapped on my door, breaking me out of my train of thought. Huh? Come in. The door opened to reveal Diana with a plate of holding things I recognized. Bread and cheese. I let out a heavy sigh of relief before Diana laughed.
I suggest not trying that. As good as it smells, the taste would not sit well with you.
Great! Instantly, I moved the bowl to a nearby table. Thankfully, I did not have to try it. Diana handed me the plate and nodded, reassuring me that what was on it was indeed what it seemed.
It's not much, but it's human food. Eat up.
Okay, that's better. I will. I began to chow down, feeling the hunger in my stomach dissipate with each bite and swallow. The food I was eating, surprisingly, was delicious. As I began to crave something to drink, Diana chuckled and formed a small goblet in her hand, filling it with a clear liquid that I assumed to be water. I took it and drank it down, feeling my thirst quenched before I let out a sigh. That feels much better.
I can tell. Take a moment to finish eating, then we'll head for the ritual.
I looked up at Diana, suddenly excited. Everything was prepared for? Was it possible to go home now? As if she read my mind, she smiled and nodded.
We finished the main preparations. We just need to head over and we'll start.
Why is she nice? I'm gonna keep asking this, like I don't trust her. I couldn't continue eating. My mind went into I couldn't continue eating. My mind went to an obsessive frenzy of wanting to go home. I stood up, moving the plate and goblet to the nearby table. Let's go.
Huh? Are you sure?
I nodded, not wanting to waste any more time. I needed to get home. I was tired of waiting. Diana stared before nodding and heading to the door, opening it for me, and exiting after me. As she closed the door behind her, I began to feel my heart flutter in a relief of joy. I was heading home. Uh-oh. This can't be that easy, right? It cannot be that easy. Diana led me down the corridors to the war room, where I originally arrived, to reveal the table covered up in plants and artifacts of different kinds. None of it made sense to me, but I had only assumed it was for what was needed for the spell to work. Diana walked to the table and took note of what she saw, nodding.
This should work.
Okay.
You're in doubt?
I'm in doubt too.
Have to be after the last time we tried sending her home. Do we have a human anchor?
No, you're on your own this time. But we'll make sure you survive casting it.
Great!
The spell should work, however, because we'll be using energy material. It will only require a slice of your energy on top of these items, which your guard can refill immediately after this.
Just make sure you don't die casting it.
Her comrades are very comforting, aren't they? Diana smiled at her guard before turning to me.
So, are you ready to return home?
Hell yeah! She didn't have to ask. I'm ready. Diana nodded once more before turning back to the table. She lifted her arms over the surface and lowered her head, muttering under her breath.
O tenebris portas, apriat nobis, largiatur exidium, desiderium.
As she spoke, the table began to glow as she did. A dark purple aura began to surround her form as she lifted the and arched her head back, staring at the ceiling. A glimpse at her eyes made me gasp. Warm golden orbs covered her covered her blood red irises glowing with magic. She was deep within spell. She was deep within the spell, and I could see it slowly drawing energy from her body. The items on the table began to gleam wildly, light orbs floating from them and dancing in the air above the table's surface. They began to weave back and forth with each other, almost as if the lights were dancing to a silent tune. The other demons stepped back as Diana moved her arms and pointed to the dancing lights. Her fingers pointed into the air, leading the lights to follow where it directed obediently. She drew a large circle in the air, and the lights followed like a perfect trail, spreading out and forming large voids in the air. As they finally stopped moving, they burst into a bright light, causing the demon in the night to cover her eyes from it. Ah, my eyes! It engulfed the room, but it died down as fast, revealing a small tear in the air. Diana quickly leaned forward and dug her hands into it before lifting the tear apart, revealing my bedroom! Oh hey! Diana continued to pull the tear open, giving enough space for me to jump through.
Hurry and go through! This is your chance!
Oh, okay. I wasn't gonna let it go to waste. I gripped the bottom of my dress and rushed forward, using the momentum to jump into the air and forward towards the void. I could almost reach it. I could feel the air conditioning of my room right at my fingertips.
She will never leave this world alive!
See, I told you it couldn't be that easy. What the fuck? Fuck you. The Demon Lord's voice rang through the air just as my fingertips passed through the tear. What stopped the rest of my body was red light force, forcing me and Diana back from the opening. What the fuck? I felt my body fly backwards and slam into the wall before I landed on the stone ground. I heard Diana as well land beside me with a painful thud. I looked up to felt my heart break as the tear became to wrap in red lightning, zipping itself closed and vanishing in the thin air. The hell, man? No, this cannot be.
Damn it!
I agree!
It should have worked. How could it have failed?
We must have missed something. Was there anything we had forgotten?
No. I verified everything myself.
You gotta verify yourself again.
Why was the Demon Lord able to overpower a gate spell?
I highly doubt you know either, brute.
Stop fighting! We need to make a plan and all of you are just being stupid! Stupid!
Well, I mean, you're not helping either.
Are you all right, Isaiah?
I'm fine.
I was too lost in my mind to fully understand what was going on around me. I was so close. I felt the other side. I had almost made it home. Why couldn't I go home? Diana's grunt of pain next to me made me shoot my head towards her, and I watched her slowly push herself off the ground and glare at the table.
The Demon Lord must have done something more than simply bring her here.
Uh-oh.
What could he have done?
Now, the Demon Lord is incapable of doing anything of the sort. His lackey imps must have done something to her.
A spell?
A curse.
Great! This just keeps getting better and better. I looked at the rabbit woman, seeing her stare wide-eyed at me. The other demons stared at me as well, and suddenly I felt like I was on display. Was something wrong with me?
She will not leave the demon world alive. He must have placed some sort of curse on her to prevent her from leaving this plane. In order to leave, she'd have to die.
What the fuck? What? My mind went blank. Did the Demon Lord really curse me? Was I forced to stay in this world until I die? I could never go back?
Are you suggesting a barrier curse?
That would explain the red energy that sealed the tear.
What? Dark magic like that requires
Blood of 1,000 demons. He must have sacrificed part of his army to cast a curse on her that would prevent her from leaving.
Damn, this guy must really hate me.
The Demon Lord is that desperate for her.
The only way to break that kind of curse is to kill the caster, the Demon Lord himself.
She's trapped here until this war is over.
My body began to shiver violently. The Demon Lord killed 1,000 demons just to trap me here? Why? Why? What the fuck? I'm sorry, I'm being so dramatic, but what the hell? I slammed my fist into the ground and began to scream. I want to go home. Why? I could feel the sympathy and anger in the room. I didn't care. I was beyond livid. I was far past broken. I was seeing red. Ah! What the heck? Why can't we go home? We're supposed to marry Erik. I was supposed to have a happy ending. What is this bullshit? Whoa. As my voice ripped through the air, a bright light erupted through the room. Once again, everyone covered their eyes, but Diana quickly scrambled to get on her knees and cover me with her body. She held me tightly as the light invaded the space and slowly began to fade. As the light finally died, everyone moved their hands to see what happened. In the air was a white tear that was slowly opening, facing down towards the table. Something was coming. I could feel it in the air. The guard summoned his spear and pointed at the tear, glaring at it and gritting his teeth.
Something's coming!
In reply, Diana summoned what looked like a saber and placed it in front of us.
Ready yourselves! It could be the Demon Lord!
Great, this is getting better, so much better. The other demons in the room readied themselves and stared at the tear, either holding a weapon or preparing a spell. I felt the air change, becoming heavier as the tear began to grow. The energy around it began to pulsate, making everyone in the room that much more tense. I stared at the tear as well, frightened as to what was coming. Was it the Demon Lord? His minions? My mind began to cycle through the fearful idea of what was about to appear. Yay! It's the boys! My heart almost stopped. Falling through the tear and landing on the table were 5 Incubi Brothers. They were piled up on top of one of another, having come through one at a time. However, as the last brother landed, the boys fell onto the side, toppling off the table and landing on the floor. The rebels around me stared at the fallen pile of Incubi, confused and surprised. As the tear in the air closed, the ogre man was the first to lower his sword.
What the hell?
Who are they?
Careful! They could be the Demon Lord's men!
Oh my god! No! The rebels looked at me as I stood up. Diana followed, still protecting me, and I stared at the boys on the ground. They all looked dazed and a bit shell-shocked from having fallen twice in rapid successions. I almost couldn't believe it. They were here, right in front of me. My mind couldn't help but remember how I felt the first time I met them. They had been on the floor of my mansion, unconscious and wounded. Now they were in front of me in the demon world. I know them. Yay! The husband and the sexy brothers. Let's go with that. Well, was Damien always that short? Was he always that short? I don't remember. I stared at the one I was meant to marry, seeing him slowly shake his head and rise from the ground. They came to rescue me. He came to rescue me. My heart became overjoyed and full of warmth of happiness. I was going home. Oh my god, look how sad Erik looks! No! The question was how? As the sight of the boys kept the demon's attention, a second tear opened above, causing everyone to look up. 4 women dropped down from the chair, somehow managing to fall onto the arms of the Incubi behind Erik.
Whoa!
I gotcha.
Oh my god, they're so cute.
Whoa! Are you okay? I gotcha! It's okay!
James!
Whoa! Are you alright?
Oh my gosh, they're so cute! I stared wide-eyed. Their wives came to... Oh my god, they got married? Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. Their wives are really pretty, though. Are they demons? Are they... No? I don't know. I watched as the boys and the girls finally planted themselves on the ground, before looking around. As Erik spotted me, however, he began to rush towards me.
Princess!
Erik! I wanted to rush back to him. I wanted to run over and wrap my arms around him. I missed the touch of his lips, his embrace, yet my body would not allow me to move forward. What the hell? No! In fact, I shielded away and hid behind Diana, gripping her waist and averting my eyes from him.
What the?
Still?
Great. Why? I shut my eyes, despite my heart screaming at me to turn towards Erik. I knew Erik would enthrall me, to break this hold on me. So I wanted to look at him and let him. However, my body continued to duck behind Erik's body, avoiding Erik's gaze. As I heard Erik step forward, Diana wrapped an arm back around her and placed it on my back. For some reason, I felt comforted by her touch. Was she casting a spell on me?
Diana, if you please.
Not until you explain what is going on. Why does she hide from you?
I assure you, it's not what you think.
I will not repeat my question.
No, it's not what you think, man! I felt Diana's hand clench over my back. I felt unnatural elevation wash over me at the protection she was providing me, but my heart cried out for Erik.
She does want to see Erik. Something's stopping her from doing that.
And I'm supposed to believe this?
Yes, you are.
Please, just let me.
I watched from behind as Diana, as her guard, quickly stepped forward and placed himself between Diana and Erik, spear pointing at my incubus.
I suggest not taking another step forward.
No! What the hell? Oh! The rabbit-eared woman, in the midst of the tension, quickly rushed over to me and bent down to look at me directly in the eyes. I looked at her, trying to convey my need to see Erik through my eyes.
Hold still, okay?
Okay.
What are you...
Ostende mihi kotum.
Staring into the woman's eyes, I watched as a warm gold hue painted over her sweetly pale blue eyes before she closed them. As if something had been unlocked, a large click resonated through my mind. All at once, I felt my will to take control, and I stood up straight, now finally being able to do what I desired without resistance.
Love.
Erik! Yay! I quickly rushed around Diana and rushed towards Erik, wrapping my arms around his neck and feeling him envelop me in his arms. His warm embrace made my heart squeeze in my chest as I held him close to me. I smiled as Erik kissed me on the cheeks and his embrace conveying how beyond happy he was to have me back, willingly in his arms. Let's kiss him because, you know, like, why would I keep holding this freaking kiss him? Gosh. I tightened my arms around Erik and tilted my head to kiss him. My heart fluttered at the touch and taste of his lips against mine. He eagerly kissed me back, tightening his own hold on me lovingly. Diana turned to the rabbit-eared woman with a look of pure confusion on her face.
What? Just...
She's under some sort of secondary spell. Repulsion, it seems. What I cast on her was an emotional release spell, and that temporarily removed the hold on her.
But she's been here a full day, and none of us felt any sort of hold on her.
That's kind of weird.
Well, we didn't exactly figure out that she was cursed either.
And they have a point too.
Cursed?
Oh no. I felt Erik's holding me tighten as I looked up at his face. He looked to Diana with an expression of full concern and confusion. As I heard Diana sigh, I turned slightly to watch her cross her arms.
Yes. She's been cursed by the Demon Lord. She cannot leave until she dies or until we kill him.
Great! This is such a great time, you guys. The Incubi looked to one another in surprise, but Erik kept his eyes on Diana and kept me tight in his embrace. No, he's sad again! What the heck?
I'm assuming you plan to kill the Demon Lord, right? When will this happen?
Yes, in 1 week's time.
1 week?
Actually, yeah, 1 week?
Where is this number coming from, Succubus?
We need to fully prepare ourselves for the final stage, which I'm certain will only take a couple of days. We've pinned him into a corner. The Demon Lord will fall.
That's rather bold to assume.
She's right, though. We can prepare everything in that time frame, right?
Is it, though? Is that enough time to fight a Demon Lord? A week? I don't know.
And if he does the same and attacks us before then?
He won't.
I watched as Diana walk over and clear the table of materials they had gathered for the gate spell, revealing a physical map of the Abyssal Plains. She pointed to the spot on the map, Peninsula, I can't pronounce things, surrounded by water labeled the Decaying Sea.
We'll cast a barrier spell along the edge of the peninsula and around the castle. He and his army won't be able to move from that spot until we break it ourselves, which will be during the siege.
Peninsula, I'm stupid. Okay.
Where would we get the energy needed for that kind of spell?
We won't be using energy.
The other rebel demons in the room suddenly tensed up, staring at Diana in surprise. What was she gonna do?
My lady, you're not suggesting...
The Demon Lord has shown how far he is willing to go to win this war. It's only fitting to show the extent we'll go to in response.
As much as I agree with you, this seems a little rash.
What does she mean by that?
What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Are they allowed to know?
We're here anyway, I mean, come on.
I plan to put a barrier curse around the Demon Lord's castle and army. It's temporary, so it won't need the blood of 1,000 demons. But it will need the sacrifice of at least 1 demon life.
Great.
And I assume you'll be sacrificing one of my soldiers.
Is this our only option?
There are other options, but they will most likely take a lot of energy to pull off.
It just depends on what we want to do. If we want to do this immediately, then the barrier curse is indeed the best option.
I'm not opposed to performing the curse. As rash as it is, it will make our lives easier in the long run.
You expect me to hand over one of my men? My soldiers joined the rebellion to kill the Demon Lord, not to get their throats slit before even seeing the final battle?
It's wrong, but can we really afford to spend any more energy? Diana already spent a lot trying to send the human back.
What is the other option?
The rabbit woman and the fairy moved towards the map and pointed at the peninsula. I hate myself.
Form tall rock walls around the castle. Box them in.
It will take a lot of our energy, but we can recover in that week period.
And what will stop the Demon Lord from tearing down the walls?
I can imbue the walls with holy magic.
The Incubi and I looked at him, all equally surprised. A demon with holy magic? How? Really?
How the fuck did you get holy magic? You look and smell like a demon.
Yeah. The guard held up his wrapped hand, letting the beads around it jangle with a sudden motion.
I've had the ability to use holy magic ever since I was taken in by my lady's family. There's no doubt that I am a demon, but I can't recall how I gained this ability.
Okay. How is holy magic different from that demon magic?
It's white magic. Unlike demon magic, holy magic isn't so finicky. Think of it as warding or dispelling magic. You can't bless air or anything that doesn't have physical form, but you can bless objects to fight back against other forms of magic.
Okay.
If the walls were blessed with holy magic, the Demon Lord wouldn't be able to escape until we released him.
Why not just trap him forever?
That's idiotic. He would still be a threat regardless. Holy magic doesn't last forever, and stone will crumble eventually.
He's right. We wouldn't be able to keep the walls up forever.
The situation became more and more complicated. The more we discuss it, how are we gonna go about this?
We can't just sit around and debate this forever. The longer we wait, the more we risk him striking back at us.
But is it worth killing someone to trap him?
When we finally strike, we will lose hundreds, if not thousands of soldiers anyway. What difference will it make to lose one more life on top of this?
Okay, this kind of reminds me of the situation of, if anyone has watched, like, Torchwood, it's a spin-off show of Doctor Who, but I believe it was Miracle Day, the episode, and Captain Jack had to sacrifice, was it his nephew? His nephew, in order to save the human race. So, it's kind of what I kind of imagine. It's the same thing. Are you willing to make that great sacrifice for the greater good kind of thing? I don't know, though. If I am.
Soulless fuck.
We can still cage him in.
I bit my lip. It was a really tough decision. A curse or a trap. Which was better? Both have their prices, but we had to choose one. From the look of it, no one wanted to speak up, so I felt the urge to say something. Maybe I would be the one who would determine everything. Of course I am. But which method would be the best choice? Oh, no. Oh, I'm such an indecisive person. This is not good. Oh, no. Okay. Trap him in the wall, but he could just, like... It's not a good idea. But the curse will give us enough time. Maybe the curse? Fuck it, we're gonna do the curse. I'm probably fucking myself over anyway. Everyone in the room looked at me surprised when I finally spoke up. The Demon Lord had trapped me here with the blood of 1,000 demons. It was only fair to trap him with the life of just one. Will the curse work with the one life?
Yes. He won't be able to escape because of its dark magic.
Are you sure this is the best choice?
James, I don't freaking know, okay? A monster like him won't stop when we box him in. We have to ensure that he won't be able to do anything while we prepare to fight back. Everyone nodded, most in reluctance, while the others did, with confidence. Diana, however, turned to the orc man with a stern face.
As for your reluctance, Sir Brute, we won't be using one of your men.
Okay.
Well then, who would you use?
Why is her eyes like that? Did you see her eyes? At that moment, Diana smirked, sending a familiar shiver down my spine. For a split second, I swore I saw a flash of the gold cross in her visible eye as she replied to Matthew.
A little mongrel who had the nerve to electrocute me in my own castle.
I stared. There was really an imp in the castle? However, my mind realized the question ought to focus on Diana's smirk. Something was off about Diana, and I couldn't put my finger on what it was. See, I know it! She's fucking shady! When I came to the demon world, I had barely recognized her and didn't expect her kindness. Now I was staring at her at that moment, and again I recognized the woman who attacked me in the human world. Diana shook her head before crossing her arms and looking directly at me.
So, since you'll be here for a while, we might as well give you names that you can use to refer to everyone.
Why are you being weird?
Are we getting human names?
Must we?
Well, what do you want me to call you? Jeez. Diana rolled her eyes and gestured to each demon, naming them on the fly.
For the sake of time, we'll use simple names. This is Rabbit, our magic advisor. Sergeant, commander of our armies. Shadow, leader of our assassins. And Faye, our nomadic force ambassador.
Okay.
Sergeant, I'm a commander, succubus. Shouldn't my name be Commander?
Commander Shepard. No, I'm just kidding.
It's easier on the tongue, though, to say Sergeant.
My lady, what shall they call me?
Diana looked at Sero for a moment before turning towards me, a look of seriousness emanating from her eyes.
You may call him Sero. He is my personal guard, and he is always by my side.
Okay, geez, look at Sero's eyes. The other demons in Sero seemed to be surprised. Was Sero his true demon name? Why would she give me his true name?
Are you sure?
Call him only if your life depends on it. Do not abuse this permission.
Oh, okay, I won't, I promise. Her eyes seemed to burn as she gazed into mine, full of hard intent and warning. I mentally noted her seriousness as she ran her hand through her hair.
Well, now that we have a plan and introductions are out of the way, I believe we can end this meeting. We have a lot to accomplish in 1 week.
Okay.
What about us? You don't expect us to sit around.
Actually, I do. You all don't belong on the battlefield.
Whoa. Huh?
I will not take untrained and unarmed beings into a war zone.
Okay, she has a point. Yeah, that's not a good idea. Hold on. I interjected, stepping forward and crossing my arms at Diana. She seriously wasn't going to make us stay back while she fought the Demon Lord, was she? We could fight too. Is this really what she... Okay, you know what? I'm not going to fight on this. I'm just going to try, stay neutral about it. I guess. Is this really what we should do? Diana nodded to me, a look of sincerity in her eyes as she locked her gaze with mine. I knew she was trying to protect us, but was it necessary?
Unless you can fight, I can't guarantee that you will survive this war.
I see your point once again.
Let me and my brothers train then. We're demons, for fuck's sake. We know how to fight.
God damn it, Sam! The boy stared at Diana as she turned her head towards Sam. He was right, though. They knew how to train so they could fight. If they fought with the rebellion, there would be a much better chance of them winning this war.
You all realize this is a war, correct? You can die here.
Oh God, please don't kill Erik.
We understand completely.
Don't kill any of them, actually.
We understand, Diana.
Okay, so they are demons, right? Right? Diana could only stare at our group as we challenged her proclamation. I wrapped my hand around my fiancé's arm, frightened of the idea of participating in the war, but knowing that we needed all the strength we could muster to finish up the Demon Lord. This was the only way I could go home. Defeated, Diana sighed and rubbed her temples.
Very well. I can't exactly keep you here like prisoners, so it will be up to you if you choose to train for battle. However, I highly suggest just staying here and allowing us to handle it.
Okay. I nodded as the others did. This was really happening. We were gonna kill the Demon Lord, and we had 1 week to either prepare for war or wait it out. Diana turned towards me and looked down at my outfit. I nearly had forgotten that I was in my wedding dress until Diana pointed at my chest.
Lumen infere, bellum tabescere.
Okay.
Serene.
What is she doing? I stared at her, unsure of why she was speaking in Latin, until I felt the fabric around my body shift and change. I quickly looked down to see my wedding dress morph into an outfit that was perfect for the demon world. There's a demon world outfit? The white top vanished into a long-sleeve, oversized tunic with a leather corset and vest, while the bottom part of the gown split and wrapped around my legs, forming dark leggings. My shoes stretched out into long knee-high boots. Yeah, that seems about right.
Wow. Very nice outfit.
Nice. I like hers though. She looks really cute. I blushed getting used to the feel of the outfit. The corset wasn't tight, but it was still something new along with the rest of my garb. Erik, however, smiled down at me and kissed over my forehead.
You look wonderful, princess.
Aw, sweetheart. Thank you.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to head for the Demon Lord's castle.
Do you plan to shadow travel?
No, I have another method. Don't worry. I'll be back by morning.
Okay. Diana looked at Faye and nodded at them, as they pressed their lips together in a tight line.
Faye, please escort our guests to the remaining open rooms while I'm gone.
All right.
Seto.
Yes, my lady.
Seto walked towards Diana and followed her out of the room. The other demons, however, looked towards us.
I'll take you to your rooms then.
Okay, Faye.
Thank you. We truly appreciate it.
Thanks, Faye. My mind for a moment wandered to Diana and remembered her almost evil smirk when we decided to form the curse. What was she planning to do? Hopefully nothing truly sadistic. It's sadistic, isn't it? Oh, dear Lord, have mercy. I felt insanely nervous. This entire situation was beyond my imaginations. Stuck in the demon world under two kinds of enchantments? That was unreal for even me. Still, we were going to work towards finishing this war and getting me home. We had to do everything we can to keep our focus straight. As Erik and I escorted to our rooms, I felt the need to cling to Erik's arm. It had only been a day since I had been taken away from the human world, but for the longest time I had been enthralled to get close to him. Now I was free and willingly able to hold on to Erik's arm. Excuse me, of course I'm going to hold on to his arm. Come on. I couldn't help it. I needed to feel closer to him after all this time. Being separated was not something any bride wanted to be with their soon-to-be partner. I wrapped my arms around Erik's arm, hearing him chuckle and lay his free hand over my arms lovingly.
You know, I wanted to walk down the aisle with you as your husband. I was so worried when you didn't show up to the ceremony.
Oh my god, I feel so bad we left him. My heart sank as I looked down. I hadn't wanted to leave him at the altar, but the demon lord had other plans. I gritted my teeth before feeling Erik's lips on my temple, causing me to look back up at him.
I know it wasn't your doing, love. Don't be upset.
But I am upset!
You've gone wrong.
Not long. I had been in the Abyssal Vein for a full day. How was that not long? How long was I missing for? Erik rubbed his neck and looked away, a small blush forming on his cheeks.
Around 5 hours.
What? 5 hours? I was here a full day. How does that work?
Well, time runs differently here than it does in the human world. In the time it takes for an hour to go by in the human world, 5 go by here in the demon world.
My mind spun slightly at the idea. Time moved differently here? I shook my head and let it go. At least I wasn't gone long in the human world. What happened when you found out I was missing?
Well, your father was demanding that Sam open a missing persons investigation since he's a police officer. Luckily, James was able to calm everyone down, and with Irides's energy, he blocked everyone's memory and told them to return home and the real wedding would begin later.
What the heck? Oh, Sam's a police officer, and I'm assuming the dad isn't a dick that I'm marrying Erik. Okay, that's good. James knew that?
Only with his wife's help. That gave us time to try to locate you. When we did, we all decided to come through to get you back.
Aww. I could have only imagined what it had been like, all of them huddling around in my room trying to find me. I felt a little flattered, but I knew it was because they all cared about me, the wives included. I was happy that they did, and that I was back with Erik at last. So sweet. Okay guys, so we're gonna end the episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed this part of Seduce Me Too, and please leave a like and comment and subscribe and share this video with your friends. Let them know that the demon boys are free and that I am playing with Erik. That sounds really wrong. But your likes and comments and sharing the video actually really helps me out a lot. It lets me know that you guys want me to continue the series, because if no one does it, then that means I shouldn't be making these Let's Plays anymore. Anyway, with that being said, we will see you in the next video. Hopefully things will get better and we can just marry our husbando and get on with our lives. Right? Okay. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!